good evening, and welcome to the Ron Berry Insurance Studio here live at
Lord have mercy.
Studio B. And what is that behind us there? Is that Neyland or
Where we're shooting, that's where we're shooting at.
Neyland Stadium, right?
Oh,
there.
just to let you know, Coach Gaddis called me a while ago. Pete's in next Wednesday night.
Pete's in.
Yep.
Well, I'm glad you negotiated a deal for us.
Wants it
You
to
got
be.
us a new contract, didn't you?
Get your new contract on that. Yep. New contract going to Pete's in. Back to Pete's in.
Back
I like,
to
and I'm
Pete's
gonna tell you
Inn.
now, I like Pete's in.
Oh, they'll be sorry.
For on your case,
That's
they will
exactly
be.
right.
Because you'll be
That's
telling,
exactly
come on
right.
in and eat on me, and I'll take care of it. And then what you do, you slip out the side door and you're gone, leaving everybody holding the bags. What you're doing?
No.
Oh yeah, we know exactly how
Boy,
you
you're
are.
fired
Brad.
up tonight, aren't you, buddy? You on
I'm
your
ready
medication?
to go. Yeah, I'm on my medication. Let's go. Just got back.
Oh,
Got back
see,
in town. I'm ready to go.
folks.
Got kicked in the election, so I'm good to go.
I got tricked. He didn't give my credit card back to me after his last trip. Called me from the beach last weekend and said, "Hey, I meant to tell you, I want to take one more little trip before football season starts. So I'm over here in Myrtle Beach.
Yeah.
Sweetie
you got
Pie
it.
wants to go out and eat a couple times. I said, hey, if it's for Sweetie Pie, you take her out. So welcome back. You look good and tan, relax.
I am. I'm good to
Well,
go,
good.
buddy.
That's great.
We're ready for Friday. Hey, just think, this time next week, we'll be a couple days from a live football game at Harriman.
I'll be. I'm excited to be a part of your recovery, buddy.
I'm glad you're excited.
So,
What recovery? I
high
don't
school
have to
football,
recover.
folks.
It's here.
It's if you've been out of town for a while, it's high school football time. Jamborees Friday night everywhere. One in Kingston for Roane County teams. I think Scott County's coming down. Some others will be around, and come out to Kingston. It'll be a packed house.
Could be wet.
Could be a little wet. Boy, the fields look great though.
I'm
Ones
sure
with
they do.
grass look really good.
Yeah.
Ones with turf look just like they did when they left them last year.
You know, it didn't cost them near as much money, though.
And coaches hadn't been mowing all
They ain't
year.
had to mow all year. They don't have a water bill. They don't have a fertilizer bill. They don't have any chemical bill. I mean, wow.
Doesn't get any better than that.
Any better than that right there.
But things are looking really good. The bands, they've been fired up. School's starting now, so everybody gets into a little routine. Practice is a little different now right after school, and it's here. I mean, it's an exciting time.
Just think, next week starts this thing. It really does. Next Friday night starts it. We're in Harriman Friday night and Saturday night.
Game week Monday.
Saturday night we'll be in Anderson County for the 5-star prep game up there, and Friday night scoreboard's next Friday night too. That kicks back. We'll kick that back off. Me and Cox will. So
You and Cox.
me and Cox, yeah, me and Johnson.
You got a new contract on Friday night scoreboard, a new contract in the Pizza Inn. Hey, you need to loan me your credit card.
I know you need to just
you got-
me. You need to just give me yours, because
Man
most
alive,
of the listeners.
you've got contracts galore.
As I told the story, I think I told it to you live on TV. As a guy about 2 or 3 weeks ago seen me at the fair and said, half a hot dog, man, and hamburger, man. And I felt sorry for him, and I just said, come on, let's go. Come on in here. Get in the fair. So at least maybe when I'm in Oliver Springs, he'll buy me the other half of the hamburger.
Oh no! They
That
know.
you won't buy.
They know that you've got
Yeah,
the cash.
Yeah, they know that I've got the
And,
cash.
and now, folks,
Yeah.
he's got new contracts. He's
Yeah.
a new man. Look at him.
Woo.
I mean, look how fresh he looks.
I'm good, man.
All
I'm
tan,
ready to
look
go.
at him.
I'm ready to go.
I furnish you uniforms,
Yeah.
everything you need.
Yeah, we get.
Oh, right there it is.
We get hand-me-downs from Reno's.
Hey, I don't have one. There it is.
Yeah, no, you got Under Armour. I
There
got
it
some
is.
old cheap Adidas
There
something
it
or
is.
something on. So it's a hand-me-down. We
Free
get what?
shirts, free hats, free shoes. I mean, the whole shooting match. And
I
look at it.
guarantee you, either Rockwood or somebody didn't take these a couple years ago at Reno's, and we got stuck. I got stuck with one of them.
People
Yeah.
know.
Mm-hmm.
You got the real stuff, buddy.
Real stuff. Well, I'm ready to go for the real stuff. Yes or no? This might be my last one, but I'm ready.
Well, I mean, you keep signing them contracts like you do.
I don't have to. I might
Well,
walk.
Brad,
I might
come in
just.
here a while ago and he'd have to work. He's working another job just to fulfill your contract.
Well, that's all right. I'm glad he is. He needs to work 2 more.
Well, it's been fun, buddy. It's been a good ride, and high school football. you see the kids now, David, that started when we first were playing when we first started, and got kids starting school now.
I know, no kidding. That's we've been doing it a while. It
So,
has been. You're right. It has been a good ride, and we've had a lot of fun along the way. And I've got to meet just a ton of people, and some really good people too. At the same point, some good coaches, and I have a lot of respect for all those coaches. I really do.
Well, it's a great time of year. It's a great time of year. Summer is almost over. Got out on the lake a little bit last night, and the only boat on the lake. I mean, it's just
Yeah, lake season's sort of
Oh,
winding
it's
out. It's
over.
got one more.
Yeah,
There's one more big weekend.
One more big weekend, but
and then it'll be over. It won't be much.
But
It's
that,
not like compared to
no,
what it has
because
been.
you got ball games and everything else that weekend. See, so it's not the same. It's
Not the same. Yeah,
uh,
boat season's almost
but,
time to put it in storage.
Yeah, you don't want to put them in storage, but it's
Time to put them in storage.
but that always lets you know that football is here. Football is here.
Well, it most
And
definitely is.
and we want to thank fine sponsors that are lining up to bring you high school football again this year on Channel 12. And the best we can ever tell, the very first local origination channel east of the Mississippi, because that's all the research we could get, to bring you live high school football games. And who would have ever thought that when we started doing that, David, that high school football now would be like it is?
Oh, nobody would.
You're on
think
the
of
air.
What do you say, man?
How you doing?
Hey, I'm going to stir up all kinds of controversy
Don't
tonight.
you go stirring anything up now.
We
Welcome to the Ron Berry Insurance Studio.
have been talking at work.
At
amongst
work?
us guys, and
Been talking
why
about who,
can-
us?
Why can the playoffs in high school football not be based on win-loss record, and then strength of schedule and head-to-head? And if you've got a losing record, you don't go to the playoffs. I know TSSAA's never going to do that, but why not?
Whose strength of schedule would you use?
I'm sorry?
How would you determine strength of schedule?
Well, I mean, it would just be based on, your wins and losses against
Sounds
the
like
teams you
sounds
played.
like you're wavering a little bit. I mean, how do you come up with a formula for strength of schedule that
Wins
fits?
and losses across the board.
Well, it
No,
is.
let numbers decide.
Well,
Well, numbers do decide.
No, they don't.
top four
Yeah, they do.
teams,
Man, you got a 2-8 team going to the playoffs last year.
but it's all based on regional
It's
play.
all based on regional play, though.
Well, I mean, if you're going to make teams travel like they're traveling for some of these regions anyway, especially in the playoffs, why have region play?
So what you're
Let
saying
teams
is,
schedule who they want to play.
what you're saying is, if you take a 2-8 team out of Middle Tennessee, and
They're staying home.
what I'm saying is, and then so you're going to bring them to East Tennessee to play a game.
If you don't have a 500 record, you should not be in the playoffs.
So what I'm saying is, a team from Middle Tennessee with a 500 record would have to come to East Tennessee to play in a playoff game.
Well, I mean, if they're playing a team that's got a better than a 5-5 record, yes, absolutely. The home
Okay.
team should have the
So
best record.
in some situations, that 5-5 team from Middle Tennessee, you'd actually cost them money to come and play in a playoff game.
shrink the playoff field. That's what I'm saying.
Well,
What,
they're-
to 80
they're-
yards?
They're not going to do that. You know that.
That's what I'm saying. That's
Well,
why
then, all
I
right,
said
then, well,
TSSAA
yeah, but
never
we
going to
do,
agree
but-
to this
but
because
the-
they've got it set up to where they've got 6 rounds. They got 5 playoff rounds and a championship game.
But the teams that get in the playoffs it is based on numbers. I mean, you got to win so many games in your region. You don't really have to win so many games. You just got to come in the top 4 in the region. And some regions only have 4 teams in them, and some have 5, and that's all it takes is just one.
That's what I'm saying.
And
I
if
would
you've got
agree with you,
if
but
you've
that's
got
the
a
way it
team,
is.
if you've got a team that's 2-8 going to the playoffs, then probably number 2 and number 3 in that region probably don't have much better than a 500 record.
a team that is 2-8 should not be in the playoffs.
Oh, I don't disagree with that. I just don't know how you go about. If you're going to do that, then only take the top 2 teams.
Then, there you go, and then you're not sitting out there in the freezing cold 3 weeks later in the after Thanksgiving.
I don't disagree. Take the top 2 teams. Like we did that a couple of years ago.
I mean, that was just one of the things we were talking about.
I like this system better than the other one.
It's better than what we got now. I mean, right now, it's like everybody gets a participation trophy right now.
That's not necessarily true. I disagree with that.
That's about as true as it can get.
No, it's
not.
not.
You go 2-8 and you
no,
get a
it's
trophy.
not. Clinton went 2-8.
Come on.
Clinton went 2-8 last year and stayed at the house. So that's not correct.
Depends on how many
There
teams.
was
how many
a team. I don't remember who it was, but I know there was a 2-8 team that made the playoffs last year.
And there may have only been 4 teams in the region.
Might have only been 4 teams in that region, though.
Well, that's horrible. Then you need to expand that area and have less regions.
Well, but then you get back to
Back
the
to
travel,
travel.
and stuff. Depending on where that is, I don't know where it was.
See, this is a no-win situation, though. You do that, you got travel. You do this, and you don't have but 4 teams, or you do this, and you only have 5. So it's a no-win situation. This is a better situation, I think, than what we're playing right now is.
Hey, and one more thing. Oliver Springs finally got scored on, guys. Did y'all know that?
They did.
Like, I'm telling y'all, I called you 2 weeks ago, and I told you to watch out. They whooped Rockwood's rear end.
And we've talked about Oliver Springs this year. That's a team you got to watch.
I'm telling you, the Big Purple's coming strong.
And if you look at Oliver Springs,
Does that mean you're back on the fence?
Maybe in the playoffs, but I'll be at Cofield during the regular season unless they're eliminated or whatever. I'll be at Cofield, and if Oliver Springs is playing after Cofield's playing, I'll be in my cut-off Oliver Springs sleeve T-shirt on the sidelines.
Well,
I hope I don't go to one of those
I hope
games.
I don't go to
and
one
see
of those
you.
games either. But the thing Brad sent me today did not even mention Oliver Springs in the playoffs. It mentioned Cofield, Greenback, Midway, and Harriman as the teams it says to watch to be playoff bound this year.
No shot.
Hey, if you look at Oliver Springs' schedule, they go to Bledsoe County first, and then they're at Kingston, and then they're open. To me, if they can go to Northview Academy and win that football game, they come back and play Greenback.
That is the key game of the season.
That's what I'm thinking, because then you come back and play Greenback, and then after Greenback, every game is winnable.
And also, I believe they've got a shot at Kingston this year.
Well, I don't know about that. I think Kingston has an opportunity to be a pretty good football team this year.
Well, that's every year that Oliver Springs beats Kingston is when Kingston has a good football team and they're overlooking Oliver Springs. Oliver Springs is coming in hungry, and I guarantee you they're going to put it all on the field. Coach Green is a great football coach.
Don't deny that at all, and
I agree with you.
Obviously his kids are buying into that thing. They're getting better every year, and they've stuck with him, and the fans have stuck with him, and I think David mentioned earlier in the year that Oliver Springs this year was a team you better watch for.
So, all right, guys, that's all I got. Y'all have a great night.
That's all you got?
That's all you got? You didn't got much in.
Well, I might come back with something here in a little bit.
Your
I'll think about it.
tank wasn't
See you
full
then.
tonight.
I see.
Bye.
But we could.
Watching or
Where was that?
I don't know how you get out.
Should have got us out. Anyway, you can talk about this. We've talked about this. I don't know how long me and you've been doing this. We've been talking about TWSAA. It seems like every year.
Well, you have to.
Yeah, but
'Cause,
this
they're going to
system.
do something.
But this system right here, this has seemed to work out better. These going into the second
Yeah.
year of this thing, this seems to have worked
Yeah.
out pretty good. Now his theory was, let's let Cofield go out and get their own schedule. Well, then when it comes playoff times, how do we determine where does where do they put it? I mean, how they place
Well,
it?
now, how do you? I didn't hear him talk.
Yeah,
about
he talked
their
about
own
it. He
schedule.
said, you go out and let's just let them play whoever they want to play. Let them play whoever they want to play.
You can't do that.
Well, how you going to do? That's what I'm saying. How you going to have a 1A, a 2, a 3, a 4, a 5, or 6A check? Now, do we have too many championships? Yeah, probably so. But compared to some other states, we don't have too many state championships. If you look at other states, I was watching, where was it? I can't remember if it's Texas. I can't remember where it's at. Had them all talking about, no, it's in South Carolina, excuse me, where I was at. They was talking about, had the guy, the trainer, had the heat, had certain things on the heat that they just put that rule in effect in South Carolina this year.
105.
Yeah, and they had some things they had to do on mandatory water breaks and whether they could even go outside and practice or what they were limited to do. And they just started this year also. Started out in helmets. They went helmets, shoulder pads, and they weren't allowed to go to full contact stuff till maybe a week ago or something like that. They were talking about those new rules they had just placed in effect there in South Carolina.
Well, very good. It's
here, whether you want it to be or not.
And whether you agree or disagree, it's the way it's going to be.
Well, I agree with the current system. I think this system today, for one simple reason, it's sort of got private out of public to a certain extent. Yeah. It's got it out. So I think that part's balanced out a little bit. That part's got balanced out. I just wonder about the balancing out part being the fact in the other sports that we're still lagging behind and still allowing private to be over in some of those other sports.
Well, let's take a break. We'll be right back.
Store in downtown Rockwood is your gift destination. Shop the new plush selection for that special someone. We have Bath & Body Works popular fragrances and custom gift baskets too. Live and Let Live has a wide selection of gift and home decor for any occasion, from yard flags to selected jewelry plus much more. We have Big Orange giftware always available year-round. And don't forget to enjoy a soda fountain treat while you shop. Live and Let Live Drugstore, Gift Shop, and Soda Fountain in downtown Rockwood.
All right, crew, let's get started. Sure.
Don't ignore the law. You must call 811 at least 2 to 3 days before any digging project so you can avoid hitting our essential buried utilities. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811.
With so many places available to shop for a new car, people are often left wondering how to choose. Why not come to the place that's been providing excellent customer satisfaction for over 45 years, Earl Duff Subaru in Harriman. We're the only dealership in Tennessee to have won the Subaru Love Promise Award for 7 years in a row. Read our online reviews and you'll see that Earl Duff Subaru is the right choice for all your automotive needs.
Take I-40 to exit 347 in Harriman, or check all our specials at duffsubaru.com.
Hello, I'm Bill Landry. I want to ask all my Roane County friends to be sure.
Mulch and More in Mulch and More in Midtown is your landscaping headquarters. Mulch and More offers mulch, the best topsoil in the area, all types of gravel, sand, pea gravel, either loose or in bags, creek rock, river rock, field stone, mountain mist stone, railroad cross ties, straw bales, fence posts, farm gates, and much more. Mulch and More offers backhoe and dump truck service. And Mulch and More can also demolish a house or building on your property, and they'll haul it off for you. Give Gary a call today at 865-740-5229 for Mulch and More in Midtown.
Roane Metals Group has been serving East Tennessee for decades. Locally owned and operated with convenient hours of operation. Roane Metals buys all types of scrap metal. Nothing's too big or too small. Still have that clunker sitting around? We've been buying them for years. Roane Metals Group are specialists in industrial scrap. We have what it takes to get any size job done. Roane Metals urges you to recycle responsibly. Scrap with only licensed dealers. A member of the TSRA and the ISRI. Roane Metals Group. Turn that scrap into cash.
Reno Sporting Goods, your first choice for sports equipment. On the court, on the field, or in the stands, Reno's has the brand names you want. All the latest from Adidas, Under Armour, and more. From custom embroidery to screen printing, it's all about the game. For over 30 years, Reno Sporting Goods.
Welcome back to Ron Berry Insurance Studio A here in the studios of BBB Channel 12 in the Grove Center, Oak Ridge. You're on the air.
I got misquoted.
Excuse me?
So why can't keep your rivalry games. Oliver Springs plays Kingston every year, Harriman every year, Rockwood. Cofield plays Wartburg.
No, they don't play Rockwood. They don't play Rockwood.
Why can't Cofield pick up a game and play Kingston?
They don't play Rockwood.
And play Rockwood.
Oliver Springs doesn't play Rockwood.
And, keep everything local.
Now, wait a minute.
Cut down on the travel. You cut down on the expense.
So how do you
doing that?
How do you pick district winners out of that?
Well, Rockwood's gonna win every year if they're in there in a district. That's why you take the overall record.
Yeah, but the overall record isn't going to be.
And then seed them
fair
by record.
Well, but what if one school plays 3 3A teams and one school plays no 3A teams?
Can't do that. So how'd you get misquoted?
I get what you're saying, because then you would have Oakdale playing Scott County instead of Rockwood, which Oakdale's actually got a chance against Scott County.
Oliver Springs doesn't play Rockwood.
They should.
Well, I mean,
I'm
not suggesting that.
When Frank Johnson was there, those were some of the best football games I saw.
I agree, but I'm just saying they don't play them now, so therefore your theory is blown up.
No, my theory is they should be playing.
Well,
they were competitive.
Well, that's but they don't, and that's the problem you'd have.
Same problem Cofield's got.
Oliver Springs went to Rockwood and beat Rockwood.
Yeah, I think
in a playoff game.
I think they did that one time.
They did.
In a playoff game. Yeah, but see, like Cofield, a lot of people don't want to play Cofield. They might want to play them now, but they didn't. They've not in the last 4 or 5 years. They've not wanted to play Cofield.
Right. Cycle. It's a cycle. It happens. It is what it is. I'm just saying, my argument overall is there should not be a 2-8 team in the playoffs when there's a 4-6 or 5-5 or 6-4 team sitting at home because they didn't finish in the top 4 of their division.
Yeah, but that 6-4 team may be in a district that's weak. The 2-8 team may have played better teams than the 6-4 team.
I just can't see that.
Well, it's there.
You play to win.
How many? You're telling me that
you're giving out participation trophies,
wait
man.
just a minute. If you're in the district with Cofield, Greenback, and those teams, and you're telling me that a 2-8 team there wouldn't be better than playing out of a district with some of these teams from Upper and East Tennessee?
Well, if they played out of district 6 other games and they got beat every time, probably not.
You look at the district Clinton's in with Clinton, Oak Ridge, Fulton, Catholic. I'm leaving somebody out here, and I can't remember who it is. There's one more. That's a pretty stacked region right there, man. That's pretty stacked. So
West.
There's another. That's pretty stacked. So,
I just can't see a 2-8 team being deserving of going.
But those 2-8 teams get to go because they're only maybe in that, like we said when you called for 4 teams or 5 teams, maybe 6. And listen, if a team gets beat by a 2-8 team in their region, shame on them. They got it's their own loss.
Now, what'd you get misquoted on?
Yeah, what'd you get misquoted on?
Said Cofield could play whoever they wanted to. I didn't say Cofield could play whoever they wanted to.
We didn't say that.
I said Cofield. I said we should make it should be. I didn't actually say this out loud, but it should be regional.
Now wait a minute. We've got 2 different issues here. Now we can't say you were misquoted if you're just thinking it.
No, because
we don't get down on that level.
Here's what you said. You said every team. Hold on a minute.
Cloudland to play a regular season football game.
Here's what you said. Every team ought to just be able to get their own schedule and schedule their own game. That's exactly what you said, because that's exactly what I repeated. Nobody said
Okay.
anything about
So
Cofield.
then
We just
you
talked
didn't
about
misquote
Cofield.
me.
You're-
No,
I
I
wasn't
did not
specifically
misquote you.
talking about Cofield.
I quoted
I
you
was
just
talking
what you
about
said.
every team.
Your wife would probably pay us good money if
No,
we
that
could
was
tell
my
you
daughter
if you
that
could
came
tell her
in.
what she was
Well,
thinking.
your daughter didn't hear that, Dixie Jack. She didn't hear what Dad said.
My daughter made air. I heard that. I was watching after I hung up.
Okay.
I'm sorry about that.
You're excused.
You're excused this time, but we didn't get down on what you was thinking.
What you were thinking now? That'd
be dangerous.
You need to tune in on that show. It's on Friday morning at 6 o'clock.
Yeah. Yeah, and let us know if you're going to be at a game with that shirt cut off. We might cancel out on that game.
My gracious.
Yeah.
Hey, I still got that shirt.
Okay, you
I
got it.
don't
We're
doubt
just
it.
telling you not to wear it.
I don't
I
doubt
can't
it.
wear it to Cofield. They'll whoop me.
Whoopee.
Well,
Now I'm not even allowed you in Cofield.
You've been whooped before over there. haven't you?
I mean, hey man, hey, when I lived in Oliver Springs, I lived straight across from the high school.
We know
I didn't
exactly.
want my windows beat out of my house.
We know exactly where you live. We had a camera
Listen.
focused on it.
You're not a, let me tell you something, you're not a Cofield fan, that's for sure. You're an Oliver Springs fan.
No,
Yes,
no,
you always
no,
have
that
been.
is
And
not
Oliver
true.
Springs fans got
I am
ticked
Cofield
because
at
he was-
heart,
because he
but
was
I'm
on
telling
TV
you right
saying
now
he was
with
a
my
Cofield
brain,
fan.
I'm telling you, Oliver
That's
Springs
exactly
is
what
gonna
happened.
be good this year.
That's exactly.
For the first time in a while.
Listen, I've been saying all year long, watch out for Oliver Springs. You're a day late and $1 short on that, buddy. Get on a different train, because you can't get on this wagon with me. I've been saying it for a
You're the
while.
only one I know that can transfer between Cofield and Oliver Springs and being bad standing in both
Both communities at the same time.
Y'all are mean.
So here's what, listen,
But I love it.
here's what I just been told. Cofield's in a region with there's 7 district regions. So they don't have any, they got 6 region games, meaning they can only play 4 non-region. So they have to play those region games.
And who's going to come and play them?
Nobody. That's what the problem is now. That's why they got such a schedule. Nobody wants to play them. So your theory and might be all right if just to talk about it, but it won't
That's
work.
why they're going to Marion County.
That's why they're going to Marion
Are
County.
chicken.
Huh?
No, these other teams are chicken.
That's why
Nobody
they got to
wants
play
them.
York.
You said it
Got nothing to do
yourself.
about being
That's
chicken.
why they got to play York and go to Marion County.
Listen, here's the deal. If you're a football coach right now, who do you want to schedule? Somebody you can beat or Cofield? You're wanting to schedule somebody you can beat, not Cofield.
To stay out of that 2-8 ranking.
To stay out of that 2-8 ranking and to have a job the next year. So that's what you're trying to do. I agree with some of the things you're saying, but we're better off today.
I don't want to agree with anything.
Anything. I agree. Maybe there are 2-8 teams that are not going to playoffs.
I
But you
promise
know that's
one
not
thing,
going to happen
Cofield won't be 2-8
this year.
No, sir.
I hope you're right. I don't have them picked to make a lot of noise right now. We'll see.
Cofield will not go 2-8.
What would they
And
be?
I'd put my retirement on it.
That's not what I asked you. I didn't ask for your retirement. I asked you what do you think their wins and losses would be?
7-3.
He's gonna hang the phone up.
You cut out on me.
7-3.
What do you think their record will be this year?
8-2.
8-2?
7-3.
They're going to lose to Marion County, and they'll probably, if I had to guess, lose to Greenback.
And how about Marion County?
Well, you know, Greenback lost that big running back. He transferred. He left.
How about Marion County?
He said Marion County.
No, he didn't say
Man, Marion County, we played those guys 3 times when I was there. And it's just different ball games. They got
It's
like
a
the
little
whole
different era
sideline of
even.
the field from the 30 to the 30. They got so many players it ain't even funny.
It's a different era.
You're choosing from a whole different pile of athletes.
They're playing
You've
with
got
leather
so
football
much,
now.
so many more options.
All right, man. I'm sorry you had to call back twice. Put a little bit more thought into it for the 3rd phone call.
I'm not calling back. I'm going to eat. Chick-fil-A's calling my name.
Okay,
All right,
buddy.
See, buddy. Good God. He's out in left field tonight. So. I just repeated what he said, so I ain't never got in trouble for just repeating.
Well, yeah, you
Usually
did.
I
Yeah,
get
you
in
did.
trouble.
You did
Usually
know.
I get in trouble
You
for
did
just
know.
saying stuff people
That's
don't
right.
like, but I
That's
really
right.
don't care about that. Neither do too.
Well, let's look. Let's look around next again Friday night. Jamboree's up in this area.
You know, I don't know if they are. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know because I've been gone, so I have no idea. I'm sure Clinton's and Anderson County both are in one somewhere probably, but I have no idea. I've not seen the paper to read it.
Oak Ridge Maryville scrimmage.
I know nothing about that neither.
Didn't look like Oak Ridge fared very well. Now I'm just, all I have is what I read in the paper.
What did it say?
Well, I mean, it was just suggesting that Maryville had their way. Now I don't know. I don't know. That could have been Coach Gaddis not wanting to play a lot of his kids. That could have been a number of things. But that's
well. Be interested to see Nate because we've not talked to him, or I've not talked to him anyway, other than tell me about the Wednesday night show. But see next Wednesday what he's got to say about hear what he's got to say about his football team.
I will
he
say
has no problem telling us where he's going to be weak at.
Caller suggested, Oliver Springs whipping up on Rockwood, and I think Coach Webb was disappointed in that scrimmage. I think his front on both sides of the ball was not very physical. They lost one of their key players early, but that's going to happen in a ball game, and you got to have kids step up.
You got to overcome that.
And I think that's one of the worries that he has this year is where's the depth going to come from in the event that somebody does get hurt. I think the skill players, he has an abundance of them, but up front, especially defensively, you better have some people that are taking the first step forward rather than the first step back. But I think that's what you have those scrimmages for early, and you see what you have to do and build on them, and certainly I'm sure that's what they spent this week doing. And I'm sure that the same thing would be true with Coach Gaddis if in fact Maryville got the upper hand on Oak Ridge. You want it this time of the year rather than 2 or 3 weeks from now.
That's correct. I agree with you.
And the thing that he's got to be worried about is Hardin Valley. That's as tough an opening game as he'll have.
Well, you got to look. Oak Ridge is going with a new quarterback this year, so that's probably a little growing pains right now. So you're gonna have some bad stuff. Let it be in a scrimmage and.
And the thing about Oak Ridge is, you go to Hardin Valley to open, you come right back with Dobbins Bennett, which typically is a power football team, a lot like probably Hardin Valley. And then you have Campbell County that's going to throw it all over the field, so you got a whole different concept to get ready for. And then you have Farragut. That's and then you go to Knox West. That's a problem.
The only thing about Hardin Valley, I don't know that Hardin Valley will be as good as they were last year.
They lost their running back.
They lost their running back. So I don't know that the Hardin Valley game, I don't know that it puts up a biggest challenge game for Oak Ridge as what we might think.
And you're probably right, with the exception that this is the year, we talk about it all the time. When you have to start out with a new quarterback, you don't know what's going to happen.
Well, and that's what I'm saying.
And that makes the Hardin Valley game.
That's what makes it
a little more tough because of that. Also, anytime you're playing the first game, you really, that's why they say that you improve more from the first to the second week than any time during the season, because you've had that opportunity. Everything has to work just right that first game.
Well, let's say this: we'll know a lot about Oak Ridge in the first 4 weeks.
You're going to know a whole lot about them
because
the first 5 weeks could be as hard a schedule as anybody in the state has, back to back to back to back to back.
And to roll back to what we was talking about being in Clinton's region a while ago, I left Campbell County. That was the team I was trying to think of. Right. Campbell County I've left out. So you look at that region that they're in and look at the non-region games that Oak Ridge is playing. I mean, that's a pretty tough. They've got a pretty tough schedule.
Well,
I wouldn't expect anything else other than what they're playing.
You look, Hardin Valley, Dobbins Bennett, Sevier County. Those are pretty tough. Those are pretty tough games. Farragut.
then Fulton, then Campbell County. Who else? Carnes,
Well, but I'm
West.
saying those are in their region. Now, we're talking about out of region games.
Yeah, out of region games.
That's one thing they can't say about Coach Gaddis now. He's not padding the schedule.
No, he's not padding the schedule. He's probably not making any excuses. If he's got a new quarterback. From what little I read about him, he was excited that his kids waited his turn, even though they are going to have to play him some on defense still. I think Coach Gaddis made a quote in the paper. He wished that they could get him off on the defensive side of the ball so he could have him on the sideline a little bit more. But apparently that's not going to happen right now. So you just have to wait and see. I just don't know that the Hardin Valley game, other than the fact they've got a new quarterback to get some things worked out, I don't know if Hardin Valley's as tough an opponent as maybe we're letting on that they are.
Okay. We'll come back with more from the Ron Berry Insurance Studios after this.
Reno Sporting Goods, your first choice for sports equipment. On the court, on the field, or in the stands, Reno's has the brand names you want. All the latest from Adidas, Under Armour, and more. From custom embroidery to screen printing, it's all about the game. For over 30 years, Reno Sporting Goods.
All right, crew, let's get started. Sure.
Don't ignore the law. You must call 811 at least 2 to 3 days before any digging project so you can avoid hitting our essential buried utilities. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811.
Roan Metals Group has been serving East Tennessee for decades. Locally owned and operated with convenient hours of operations, Roan Metals buys all types of scrap metal. Nothing's too big or too small. Still have that clunker sitting around? We've been buying them for years. Roan Metals Group are specialists in industrial scrap. We have what it takes to get any size job done. Roan Metals urges you to recycle responsibly. Scrap with only licensed dealers. A member of the TSRA and the ISRI. Roan Metals Group. Turn that scrap into cash.
Live and Let Live Drugstore in downtown Rockwood is the premier pharmacy service location. Let our professional staff help with all your pharmacy needs, answer your questions, or help with your medication management with our Medicine on Time packaging system. We also offer medication therapy management to ensure you're receiving maximum benefits from your medication. Diabetes care is available with one-on-one consultations, or you can attend one of our monthly diabetes information classes. Live and Let Live Drugstore in downtown Rockwood.
With so many places available to shop for a new car, people are often left wondering how to choose. Why not come to the place that's been providing excellent customer satisfaction for over 45 years, Earl Duff Subaru in Harriman? We are the only dealership in Tennessee to have won the Subaru Love Promise Award for 7 years in a row. Read our online reviews and you'll see that Earl Duff Subaru is the right choice for all your automotive needs.
Take I-40 to exit 347 in Harriman, or check all our specials at duffsubaru.com.
Mulch & More in Midtown is your landscaping headquarters. Mulch & More offers mulch, the best topsoil in the area. All types of gravel, sand, pea gravel, either loose or in bags, creek rock, river rock, field stone, mountain mist stone, railroad cross ties, straw bales, fence posts, farm gates, and much more. Mulch & More offers backhoe and dump truck service. And Mulch & More can also demolish a house or building on your property, and they'll haul it off for you. Give Gary a call today at 865-740-5229 for Mulch & More in Midtown.
Well, welcome back to the Ron Berry Insurance Studios, Studio A here in
First 30 minutes has been wild.
In the Grove Center, and things are peaceful in the background. Won't be peaceful long. The stadium will be full.
Well, I'd say there's a lot of people right now behind the scenes in football that we try to give them credit all the time, and that's the booster clubs and people like that are working to make sure these young men and the cheerleaders and everybody, the bands and everything, all those have got booster clubs. I'm pretty sure they do anyway, but it's trying to help out. So a lot of those people are putting us in as many hours as some of the football coaches.
Right.
Trying to get things ready to go on Friday night, because the cheerleaders, the dance team, and the band, that's all a big part of Friday night. And a few years ago I got in trouble just because I made the mention of how big Kingsport Dobbins Bennett band was. I wasn't joking, but it's the biggest high school band I think I've ever seen. 400 and some members. Do you know of any other high school that has a bigger band? High school, not college.
400, you say?
400 plus. That's a huge band. I mean, so that's a lot to bring on the road with you. And they'll bring them to Oak Ridge, and they go from the 20 to the 20 with people. So that's a huge band. So
The Ohio State University. They need a football coach. He can't survive, can he?
Well, I'm going to agree with you that he doesn't survive, and I'm also going to agree. I'm also going to say this: you don't have to agree if you don't want to. I think if he is out, it's the last time. We won't hear nothing else about Urban Meyer. He's through. He is teetotally through.
I would guess big time for a while he might be through, but I don't think you can ever say no on those guys after Bobby Petrino. No, I don't think. I think he surfaces somewhere in some athletic director, because what they'll do is they'll say, and to some degree there may be some truth to the fact that because of the climate involving, and it should be, sexual abuse, I think it's a noose around his neck, and.
But let me ask you a question. Let's just say his wife, and I'm not taking up for him, okay? I don't want anybody to think that I am. Let's just say, though, that his wife actually didn't tell him about the last incident that supposedly she knows about.
But he knew about the first two.
But he knew about the first two. And he says they tried to do counseling and stuff like that because they were a young couple and stuff like that. And then I sat down and listened to the victim talk on TV, and she's point blank asked the question if Urban Meyer should be fired. And she don't say yes or no. She sort of is in the middle somewhere, I guess. She doesn't really give it a definite, defined answer.
But if you're Urban Meyer and you're the coach at the University of Florida, and you have a young assistant that's involved in this, and just because it's Earl Bruce's grandson, and Earl Bruce was your mentor and all that stuff, that's when you have to separate being the football coach from a marriage counselor. Now,
I agree with you.
You can counsel them on the side, but you better make dang sure that he's getting the proper counseling, professional counseling as well.
And that's
where he started straying.
That's where there's a why. That's where we're at the crossroads here.
I think you're right.
And the crossroads is they didn't do that. They might have had. They might have had.
Then it's
might
documented.
have had great intentions.
Well, then it's documented. Then
Right.
you don't have to say I didn't know or I knew. Here's what I knew and here's what I did.
But to go back to say what I was saying about he didn't know, I would probably think if his wife knew, he knew. I would have to go. I'm gonna lean more to that side. If his wife knew about it, more likely she told her husband about it. Hey, this has happened again.
And in that situation, if his wife knew and had read the papers in the last 5 years about what's happened to people in that, don't you think she's going to make dang sure that somebody knew?
You think?
So I think some people will say he's a victim of circumstances. You can call it what you want, but the profession that he's dealing in and the money that he's making, you can't feel sorry for him.
He's one of the top paid college football coaches. He's right there with Urban Meyer. I mean, with Nick Saban.
He should have done the right thing. And I thought it was interesting. Now they have an interim coach because the two former head coaches have the baggage. One, Shiano, got in the Tennessee mess. You can't put Ohio State in that mess again. Indiana coach had the same kind of thing going. So that's why you have a youngster as the interim coach there. But football right here starting up. And they say that Ohio State may have more talent than any team on any college roster, and may have probably the most experienced and best coaching staff. So they possibly could pull this thing off without Meyer for a year, based on all of that. If this young man can just keep the
I won't be
wheels
shocked
on the track.
if he keeps wheels on the track. I won't be shocked though that if Urban Meyer doesn't come back. I mean, I seriously won't be shocked.
Well, if he comes back, there's a cloud over the good season if he has one. There's a cloud.
Well, there'll be a cloud over it anyway. So, but I won't be shocked. I won't be shocked. But then you turn around, though, and if you turn around and listen to his words, things that people ought to get automatically ought to lose their job over, blah blah blah, and things ought to be banned. I mean, this falls right in line with things he said you ought to lose your job over.
Yeah.
You ought to not never be allowed to perfect. I mean, he just goes on and on with his own standards. So you just have to wonder, can he even stand up to his own standards? And right now the answer to that is no, because he's violating his own code.
It's just I think probably before next weekend you'll see that the decision will be made.
You think they'll buy him out or just fire him with cause?
Well, I mean, that's the other interesting
or will
thing.
he negotiate a deal?
Is he's got a new contract with some things in there. My guess is they probably negotiate a deal so that everyone.
Well, let me ask this: if you're Ohio State, aren't you already at fault for letting him bring this guy on, and he already has this past baggage with him?
Well, I think that's why the athletic director is involved in this thing as well.
So that's what I'm saying. But
Yeah.
There's some
But
clouds.
they didn't know about it. That's part of the deal.
Yeah, but didn't they? Yeah, they had to know about stuff that's going on. They just didn't do their research.
Urban Meyer. I mean, what is there to research?
Well, Urban Meyer covered up for him two different separate times at Florida.
And that's why I think this goes beyond. I don't know why they're waiting. Just because of that. So, other teams, what coaches are on the hot seat?
College?
Yeah.
Wow, that's a good question. I'd say the young man at Ole Miss is, even though he got the job, and even though this is his first year, he's going to be.
He won't be on the hot seat.
Yeah, he's going to be on the hot seat a little bit, I think. Even though he's a player favorite and everything else, I think people at Ole Miss got a taste of winning, and they're not going to want to be there.
Stoops at Kentucky is.
Stoops at Kentucky, I agree with you.
Then if you look.
The guy at Mississippi State, even though they say he's a good football coach, if Mississippi State doesn't do good this year, he's going to be on the hot seat too. Because they're expecting Mississippi State to do really good things this year. They say Dan Mullen left that program in really good shape. That's right off the bat, which Urban Meyer right now is on the hot seat, so it's probably so hot he's
hot.
Bounce.
Yeah,
he's on it. So,
and you look around.
I'd say the old guy at Vanderbilt could be on the hot seat too. Not having last couple of years has not been very well. I think he's one that'll be on the hot seat.
I think Paul Johnson at Georgia Tech could be
on the hot seat.
He won a couple of games late last year that allowed him to win. Notre Dame, Kelly came back with a strong year last year, but if he falters again this year, he'll be back on the hot seat again, or looking for another job.
The guy at USC, was on the hot seat there for just a little while, but he's had a couple Helton. He's had a couple fairly good years. I'm going to think eventually USC is going to get. They're going to get tired of just coming in second. They're going to be impatient. I tell you, somebody else that could be on the hot seat is the coach at Texas too. They've not really.
Yeah,
he's going to be in his third season. So things ought to start popping.
It's time to start.
Things ought to start popping.
Start winning. How do you like the SEC East?
How do I like it?
Yeah, who you think?
It's probably Georgia, and it could be a toss-up between Tennessee and Florida for second and third. I really do. I think that.
About South Carolina?
South
Carolina's an awfully good football team this year.
I'll throw them in there. You always say that they're nothing, so what's changed? You all at once become a South Carolina fan?
Well, I think the fact that Muschamp's probably done a decent job recruiting over there.
And speaking of Muschamp, I was watching something on him talking about the mess that he was left at Florida when he replaced Urban Meyer, how big a mess there was to clean up.
Well, in South Carolina.
So,
I mean, he's done it. I think he's
done a nice job. You could probably say Georgia.
In fact, he's probably left a bigger mess at South Carolina because remember, Spurrier quit in the middle of the year.
Let's say this. You could probably say Georgia, South Carolina, Florida or Tennessee,
Yeah, I like that.
and then
I like
Kentucky
that better.
and Vanderbilt and Missouri. But now don't throw Missouri out.
No, I,
you know,
I
they've
think
got this
Vanderbilt's below Missouri.
They've got
quarterback.
They've got this great offensive coordinator at Missouri now.
Well, they've
that'll
got-
get them out. They
got a
could
great
could
quarterback.
play. They could play for the SEC. They could play. They could factor in the East.
They've got
I
a-
might put Missouri before I would put Florida or Tennessee.
No. Dooley won't. Dooley is not.
Dooley's he's the thing. They should have given him another
he's
year
not-
at Tennessee,
he's
and he'd
not
have won a
gonna
national
get-
championship.
Yeah. And in the West, of course, after Alabama, who do you like? There's another one. Orgeron
Well,
is on the hot seat.
I just think it's. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go a little bit different. I'm gonna say it's Mississippi State and then Alabama. I'm gonna go Mississippi State.
Wow.
I think Alabama's got a lot to replace.
Wow.
And listen here, they've got a legitimate problem right now. They've got, and it's a good problem to have, I guess. But I listened to Jalen Hurts the other night interview on TV, and the young man broke down about this starting quarterback stuff.
There's no problem.
Yeah, there's no
One
problem.
of them's going to leave.
Yeah, one of them. He said he might be the one,
and he may
and
be.
he's going to graduate this year, so he needs to come on to Tennessee and
he-
help us out.
And he could.
So, but anyway, he's really, as he says, nobody's really asked me my feelings about this. So, I'm going to say it's Alabama, Mississippi State, and then I think the guy that's probably put himself more on the hot seat than anybody is Gus Malzahn with the big contract. They're going to expect big things out of Auburn. Auburn people will go crazy if they're third this year. They'll go crazy,
Well,
and you know they will.
They will, and if that's the case, and LSU comes in fourth, then Orgeron's in trouble.
Yeah.
And here's the thing that I got to thinking about this weekend, David, was Coach Pruitt has really come along at the right time. He's got probably one of the toughest schedules that Tennessee's had in the last few years. And he's going to get a bye with it because he's going to be on the honeymoon. If he had this schedule in year 3 and didn't produce, he's in trouble.
Out.
But so he gets the Alabama Auburn back to back. He doesn't have to worry about that one anymore. So I think he gets a break in that the toughest schedule that Tennessee's had in a long time is in his first year, and he's not going to be expected to win that many games.
I'm going to agree with you to a certain extent. I'm going to agree with you all. I'm going to agree with you all the way. Here's what I think. Here's what's in Jeremy Pruitt's favor more than anything. I think he's going to get 4 years to turn that program around. I don't think there'll be any heat on him until year 4. Hold on a minute. Let me finish. Here's why. He's got that ace in his back pocket. And that ace in his back pocket that everybody, that beloved Philip Former has picked. And I think Philip Former, as long as he's the AD, people will they'll give him time to see if he can turn it around. And I think he gets that 4th year to turn it around. He'll get he'll get the 4-year stint to see if he can turn it around.
Depends on
And
what he does
Former
year
and
3.
Former can buy him, and Former can buy him that. Former's going to buy him that extra year to get that 4th year, just because of
Okay,
everybody
let's say
thinks
year
he's
one.
a beloved coach
let's
over
say
there.
year 1. Let's say he goes 6-6 and gets it back, goes to a bowl game. Year 2, he improves it a game. He goes 7-5, 8-4, and then year 3, he's still 8-4.
I think people will be all right with that.
Now,
Because here's why. Because think first year, nobody's expecting 6-6
I understand
this
that,
year, Ron.
but
you know they're not.
But here's the thing: you don't think that year 3 and we don't get more than 8 wins, that all of a sudden they start saying, you know, I don't understand why we hired an Alabama coach anyway. The guy hates Tennessee. He hated this time last year. What was he doing?
He's probably dogging Tennessee.
Probably.
Well, he probably was.
So what I'm saying is,
assuming he was.
well, so what I'm saying
We're
is the
assuming
risk factor in Fulmer hiring somebody from Alabama.
But
wait a minute, is that if he's not successful, they're going to start coming out of the woodwork about late year 2, year 3, saying, hey, this guy doesn't care anything about Tennessee. He's an Alabama man.
that's where he gets the extra year because of Fulmer. Listen,
Well, I'm not
Fulmer's
sure-
your guy.
I'm not sure
Fulmer's
Fulmer-
your guy.
I'm not
He's
sure
not
Fulmer
my
can.
guy.
I'm not sure Fulmer
Okay.
can bring on an extra year though.
Yeah, he does.
Well, all I know is if the fan base can stop him from hiring a coach, I'm not sure they can stop them from firing one. How many other universities have you seen where the fan base literally stopped the hiring of a football coach? Dead in its tracks.
So they stopped it dead in its tracks, though, Sean.
Okay.
I mean, I agree with you, but I just think Fulmer gets him that extra time because he's his pick, and everybody thinks the sun sets in Philip Fulmer.
I don't disagree.
I disagree with the sun setting in Philip Fulmer. But anyway, it's beside the point.
I don't disagree.
I think we've got a good. I think we've got a good as football. I think Fulmer sees in Pruitt. He sees himself.
Well, I think you might be right.
He sees a fairly good recruiter.
Except for the fact that you've brought in the top dude from Alabama, who the year before.
Let me ask you a question. Go ahead. You finish. Let's just say something happened. Nick Saban tomorrow decides I'm going to leave Alabama.
Okay.
And a Tennessee job's open. And Tennessee offers Nick Saban the job. You don't think the fans wouldn't jump on board with Nick Saban?
I think they probably would.
We were going to jump on the going to jump on the bandwagon of a guy that hadn't coached in 15 years, in John Gruden. He had never coached really college football, mostly pro. We're going to jump on a guy that's been in the booth like me and you.
That was the fans.
That's me and you.
That was the
fans. Like people like me and you. They think me and you could come over to Tennessee and coach. That's what John Gruden was.
That was
me, the color guy.
That was the fans talking. That was the fans talking.
Good gosh. But next Wednesday night we'll be at the Pizza Inn, though. Think about it.
Pizza Inn?
Yeah, we ain't got just a couple minutes here. So, high school football's here. Jamboree when? Friday night, Kingston? What time?
Friday night at Kingston. Oh, they'll probably start it at, I'm sure, 6:30.
You know the teams by any chance? Right off the bat?
It'll be the Roane County teams and Scott County, I know. So you got Rockwood, Harriman, Kingston, Midway.
You going?
Yeah, I'll probably run over and see a little bit of that. That'll be interesting.
Right.
And then then they'll throw in the skill positions and they'll have the horses running up front.
Well, I hope you get us a little insight next week, maybe on Midway for us. Maybe if you do go, if you're able to go, you get to see Midway and just tell us a little bit. Because in Brad's thing he sent tonight, it says Midway's a team to watch for this year. So I'm agreeing with that a little bit. I think Midway. They've had that new coach, but he's not new no more. He's been there. This is his third or fourth year in it.
Yeah.
He's done a pretty good job. So it'd just be interesting to see if you get to see what Midway looks like.
Of course, you don't get to see much in those jamborees.
In jamborees, you don't. They don't show much. It's like Coach Webb. He didn't. You know what? I bet money Coach Webb didn't even take his varsity team to practice scrimmage. Oliver Spring. He took his JV.
No, they did. They did.
Coach Webb's sneaky, man.
They were disappointed. They were disappointed.
They might have been disappointed in the JV squad. They went to varsity.
He was disappointed.
Where'd you see him this morning at McDonald's or something to get that report? He's disappointed?
Is
it Hardee's?
Don't go to McDonald's.
Wherever you and Dudley go.
No, we don't go. Dudley goes to McDonald's. Don't go.
You go to McDonald's. Well, Dudley tells me you go to McDonald's.
Too expensive.
I'll get you some.
Too expensive.
I'll have my wife cut you some coupons out.
Give me some. Man, I mean, it's Let's see if Mr. Ferris would want to come down.
Though, Triple D, I know Oak Ridge was on the field when I came through. Triple D, he keeps the water and stuff like that up. He keeps coaches not. He's working hard. He ain't been able to call in last. Since practice has started, no Triple D. Out.
I've almost forgot discipline.
Dedication, desire, dedication, discipline.
Dedication, desire.
Yeah, he's disciplined. He's got the desire to get the water to him.
Well, folks, it's time for high school football to really, really, really get underway, and we appreciate you watching. And from the Ron Berry Insurance Studios, we bid you farewell till next Wednesday night.
See you at the Pizza Inn.
Let Live Drugstore in downtown Rockwood is your gift destination. Shop the new plush selection for that special someone. We have Bath & Body Works popular fragrances and custom gift baskets too. Live and Let Live has a wide selection of gift and home decor for any occasion, from yard flags to selected jewelry, plus much more. We have Big Orange giftware always available year-round. And don't forget to enjoy a soda fountain treat while you shop. Live and Let Live Drugstore, Gift Shop, and Soda Fountain in downtown Rockwood.
Reno Sporting Goods, your first choice for sports equipment. On the court, on the field, or in the stands, Reno's has the brand names you want.